Are you guys ready for this? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Let's do it, baby! Let's go! Alright guys, we just pulled up to my local GameStop. We're going to run in and see what the process is like whenever you pick up cards. I don't know if we're going to have the same person that we had whenever we dropped them off. So Connor last time was pretty comfortable in front of a camera. I don't know if whoever is in here is going to be. So I'll try to record what I can. If I'm not able to record too much, or if the person's just uncomfortable, then we'll do the rest of the reveal back at my house. So stay tuned. Give me just a moment. Let's see what we got going on here. You are in today.
I am in today.
Look at you.
Let me go grab a name badge real quick. And we can get this checked in.
Sweet.
Started this.
Gonna finish it.
Finish the fight. Master Chief.
Yeah. Have y'all had very much else come in to be sent off since? It's been almost 2 months, I think.
We actually sitting down here right now is some really cool stuff I got.
Oh, awesome. So we're just doing the same thing. I'm just showing what the pickup process is like, if you don't mind. I did have so several people had questions after I posted that video.
Yes.
One of them was, and I know that you addressed it briefly, but people were wondering what happens if the cards go missing. So I know that you had said GameStop Collectibles reaches out.
Yes.
Is
that's
there
the only thing that's been communicated to us.
Okay, so you don't know if there's any insurance that's included in?
There is some level of insurance.
Okay.
And it should be towards the declared value.
Okay, all right.
Because each card is declared at that 200, but obviously we take photos of this stuff. So,
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's.
See, that was something I was curious about, because you all don't send in at any other tier besides the $200 tier. Now I sent off a Bubble Mew, and that thing raw is like 400.
Yeah.
So I was curious. You know what? Obviously nothing happened here, but
Yeah. What if?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I know that it's going to get reached out, and they handle it from there.
Internally.
Yeah, with the customer.
Cool.
Nothing just in store for it.
I gotcha. Let's go.
All right. So we got the ID.
Okay. And I had the email. I don't know if you needed it pulled up.
I'm going to need your phone number again.
Sure. It's once again none of your business.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you can have your ID back.
Sweet.
So we got them all here. For one to inspect them.
Do what?
So typically we look them up or bring everything out for you to inspect. I know you have your channel and everything. Yeah.
Awesome. Everything looks good.
Perfect.
Nothing's cracked. Looks great.
All right. Cool. So next. There we go. You're gonna click there, saying you got everything back in good condition.
Okay.
And then tap to sign. Alrighty.
And then I owe y'all a little bit of money for an upcharge, I believe.
So upgrade fee with that is just the $63.
Cool. Out of curiosity, are we able to use our $5 monthly credit on that? I don't know if you can or not. It doesn't matter, but I figured I'd ask.
Technician, so I imagine you'd be able to use it on that.
We're about to find out.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've had an upgrade fee.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't happened.
Okay, so me and my buddies were laughing about this. My friends send off through you guys all the time, and maybe not this particular store, but they send off stuff that most definitely should be upcharged. Never get upcharged. I always get upcharged, and this was my first time going through GameStop. Got upcharged.
It looks like it was just 2 cards.
Yeah, it was the Mew and I forget the other one. So I was happy to, the Leafeon. I was happy to get upcharged on the Mew. That was a big one. We can? Sweet. You hear that, guys? So if you've got your pro membership, you can use your $5 on the upcharge.
All right, $58.
Cool. That's a big box.
It is.
Have you gotten a bigger sub in since this one?
Still haven't.
Woohoo! We still hold the title, guys.
All right, there is that.
Wonderful.
And your receipt.
Perfect. Connor, thank you so much for all the help in the
Absolutely. Thank
process and letting me film it. I appreciate it. All right, we'll bring y'all another one here soon.
Perfect. Yeah, and if you're ready to unload some cards, we buy them 8s, 9s, 10s.
8s, 9s. You're still doing 8s?
8s, 9s, and 10s.
Okay, sounds good. I may have some.
Awesome.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Well, guys, that was super easy. They make sure that you look over the cards before you leave. That way, in case there's anything wrong with the slabs, it hasn't left the store yet, and you know they can take some responsibility and work with you on that. Now, I did try to get an answer out of him regarding how insurance works if something does go wrong during transit, or if the cards are stolen, or if an employee takes anything. But unfortunately, he didn't have a straightforward answer for me. He's been told, I'm sure as you heard, he's been told that GameStop Collectibles will reach out, and that's that. That's really all he's got. So he can only work with the information that he has. So no big deal. I don't blame him at all. But overall, process was smooth. I've got a lot of thoughts, both positive and negative, for how this went overall as a service, and we're going to go over those. I don't know if we're going to go over it in this video or if we're going to go over it in a separate video, because I have a feeling it's going to take a while. But I think what I'm going to do, we went over all the cards in the store. I think I'm going to take them home and reveal them to you all that way instead, just so you can get a closer view of everything. We can talk about the grades a little bit. But yeah, overall, very happy to have gotten the cards back. So stay tuned. I'm going to go home and record that part of this video. All right, guys, let's go through this submission real quick. We had some that were just absolutely fantastic, we're stoked about. We also had some that we weren't too excited about, but I suppose that's kind of the way it goes whenever you're grading cards. Now, I will say this. Historically, I've had a much higher 10 percentage, so the rate at which my cards that I send in grade out at 10s. However, PSA did change their grading standards while my cards were off being graded, which was extremely annoying to say the least. There are cards in here I would not have sent off at all had they publicly already said they were not grading front at 60/40 anymore and that they were grading at 55/45. Because there's a lot of cards, for example, this first one, this B-Drill V, that are way too far off top to bottom to get a 55/45 10. This was most definitely within a 60/40 parameter, but there's a big difference between a 60/40 and a 55/45. And for those who are new to grading, all that means is PSA on a Gem Mint 10 allows a variation between the borders, top to bottom and left to right, of now a 55% to a 45%. Whereas previously they allowed a 60% to a 40%, and it is a massive difference. So we're just going to go through these real quick. The B-Drill got a Mint 9. Big one, the Mew EX got a PSA 10. So this is our first Bubble Mew that has ever gotten a 10. We have now graded 3 of these, and I am extremely excited to be able to have this in my possession. It's probably going to be for sale, but I was, there was a part of me that was hoping to to put that in the PC, but given that it's $900, I don't think it's going to happen. PSA 10 on the Leafeon VMAX, so another really big card, did get the PSA 10, so very excited for that. We picked both of those up from a collection locally. Charizard VMAX, this is our third one in the last few days to get a PSA 10, so Stoked about this. Those are going for about $240 a piece, and we've got 3 of them. All right, we've got a PSA 9 Darkrai V-Star. And I did look, and there was a print line on the back of that one that I didn't catch. This one, I'm not sure exactly why this got a mint 9. I'm considering regrading it. I've looked it over. Card seems pretty clean to me in the new lighting that I'm using, but mint 9 on the Mewtwo V-Star. We also got a mint 9 on the Semi-Seer V-Star. Now this is another one of those that's too far off top to bottom on the centering to be able to get a Gem Mint 10 now. Again, I wish this was something that they would not have done when my cards were already off being graded. But unfortunate timing is what it is. Zoroark V-Star, another one that is off top to bottom. Zeraora V-Star, got the Gem Mint 10, beautiful card. By the way, guys, I was going to tell you, I'm going to make another video on the GameStop submission itself, the process, I mean, PSA 9 on the Giratina V-Star, that is going to discuss the pros and cons of going through GameStop, what I recognized as somebody who grades fairly regularly, that is not totally new to this. PSA 10 on the Dialga V-Star. This is a great one, it's a couple $100. So I hope to bring to you a little bit of experience and make a little video so that you can decide for yourself, should you go through GameStop or should you submit your cards yourself. Charizard from the Celebrations collection got the PSA 10. This is our second one in the last couple days that we got in. So I recently got in a submission that I had sent off myself. That's why I said the same thing about that Charizard. Charizard VMAX. Garchomp V, big one here, got the Gem Mint 10. This card, I was unsure of whether it would get a 10 or not. I kind of sent this off as a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for, experiment for myself. So if you've ever looked at some of these cards from Astral Radiance, the back tends to have a little bit of texture along the borders on some of these, and it's hard to tell whether or not they're going to ding your grade for it or not. It almost looks like the front border, or not the front border, the front texture is along the border. But I sent this in because it looked mint otherwise, and they did give it a Gem Mint 10. So it sounds to me like they don't count off for it. Entei V from Crown Zenith got a PSA 10. Awesome card. Raikou V got a PSA 9, unfortunately. I haven't had a chance to look at this one. I'm not entirely sure why it got the PSA 9, but we'll look over that one. Some of these I'm going to regrade. Some of them I'm going to crack and sell raw. You know, it's just kind of part of grading. Unfortunately, you lose money on some cards and then you make money on others, and you hope that the ones that you make money on outweigh the negatives on the other one. Inteleon VMAX got the PSA 10. First time grading this card. Very cool. Happy with that. Regidrago V. PSA 10 from Silver Tempest. Sorry, I keep knocking my camera. Mawile V got the PSA 9. This one's unfortunate. I was fairly hopeful that this one would get a 10. It's not overly expensive, but I like the card. I thought it would look cool in a 10. This is an interesting card. Lugia V from Silver Tempest, just the standard V card. So this is a good example that if you find a Pokemon card that has a desired Pokemon on it, like Lugia or Charizard, or something that's sought after, even cheap cards, if they get the Gem Mint 10, sometimes they're worth a lot of money. This card raw, I think now is like $5 or $6. When I bought it, it was $3. This in a Gem Mint 10 is $90. So kind of wild when you can make that kind of a margin on a card so cheap. Duraludon VMAX got a PSA 10. This is from the same exact set as the Lugia. Higher tier card, VMAX, it's really not that much more expensive, if at all, to be honest with you. But technically this is a VMAX and the Lugia is a V. However, this in a 10 is about 50 bucks, whereas this is 90. So just another example of, Duraludon not being as popular as like Lugia and being cheaper, even though they got the same grade. Leafeon VMAX. This one got a near mint 7. This was rather strange. I have looked this over. I have no idea why this got a 7. So this card will probably be cracked and just sold separately as a raw card, near mint card. Blood Moon Ursaluna EX got a PSA 10. Pulled this out of a pack on Christmas that my brother had got me. PSA 9 on the Charizard V. This one was a little unfortunate. I really thought that this would get a 10. Yeah, wasn't super stoked about that one getting a 9. Bought this off of eBay. Just wanted to see if I could get a 10 off of an eBay card through pictures without seeing it in person. I didn't, so I got a mint 9. Card looks pretty good, to be honest with you, but that just happens, and I was taking a risk. Mint 9 on the Birds GX. So like I was saying, we kind of got an unfortunate case of the 9s due to centering on a lot of cards. If we were still playing by the 60-40 rule, I want to say we would have a lot more 10s. Marshall and Machamp GX got the 9. Tag team. Galarian Slowking. This card shot up in price while it was away. I don't know what it's going for raw now, but I picked this card up for 30 bucks, and in a PSA 10 it goes for 300. I am a little confused. I believe this to be off pretty substantially left to right. But you know what? I'll take a 10. PSA 10, Marshall and Machamp GX in Japanese. Got the PSA 10. Super cool. Japanese Shining Mew. Got the 10. This is a cool card. I picked this up for 40 bucks from somebody locally, and it did get the Gem Mint 10. So very, very stoked to have that. For now, this card is going in the PC. We got a PSA 10 on the Espeon EX. I haven't decided if I'm going to get all of them in a 10, but I have graded the 2 that I've pulled. I have the Glaceon and the Espeon. Both of them got 10s. Very cool card. Happy to add that. I'm just going to put that over to the side here because I'm going to sleeve that up in a bit. Umbreon EX from Terastal got a PSA 10. We're going to go on a 10 run here because it's all Japanese. Sandy Shocks EX got the PSA 10. This is a cool artwork. I know Sandy Shocks is not a popular Pokemon by any means, but this is a really cool artwork. Really happy to have gotten that. PSA 10 on the Palafin EX. Another really cool one from Terastal that's not an evolution. This one did get the PSA 10, and that card's about $90 now. So I had bought that for, I want to say $15 from my local store. Raging Bolt EX. I pulled this one out of a box myself. This one is actually a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. A lot of people really like this artwork. And I know it's not an evolution, but this is like only 50 or 60 bucks in a PSA 10. 151 Zapdos EX in Japanese got the PSA 10. Picked that up from another store locally that I'm never visiting again. PSA 10 Iron Leaves, the special art rare. Very, very nice card. PSA 10 of the Lycia's Appeal, the super rare. Very cool. PSA 10 of the Japanese 151 art rare of Charmander. Very, very cool. I think that card will sell easily. Don't know why I graded this. I think I got caught up in the fact that it was a Master Ball, so I wanted to do Dunsparce, Master Ball, Reverse Holo. Got the PSA 10. Happy about that. Don't know if I'm going to be able to find a buyer for it because it is a Dunsparce, but you know, we will take the PSA 10. Feebas art rare. We finally got a 10. I've sent 3 of these things. 2 of them got 8s, and they deserved 8s now that after I looked at them, which was unfortunate. But we finally got a 10. We can pair this up with our PSA 10 Melodic EX and sell them as a set. So looking forward to doing that at the show coming up. This one was unfortunate. I actually sent this off for my own PC. PSA 9 Slackoth. This is one of my favorite Pokemon that I would catch when I was going through Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald as a kid. And so when I pulled this, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to send that off, see if I can get a 10, and we unfortunately did not. PSA 10 on the Alolan Dugtrio. I sent this off purely because that is the most glorious artwork I've ever seen in my life. I think somebody will buy that purely off of the lulz. PSA 10 Pikachu EX. Glad to have gotten that one. I think that one's a $35 card now. It used to be about $70 when the set first came out. Beautiful. PSA 10 Pikachu EX Ultra Rare from Super Electric. Pulled this on Christmas. Very, very happy to own this. I'm going to PC this for a while. I could sell it. I'm going to PC it mainly because of nostalgia. Little bit of sentimental value. Charizard EX. Got the PSA 10. We got the PSA 8 Dark Steelix. I want to say I called it a Rocket Steelix earlier. I don't know why I did that. It's from Rocket Gang Strikes Back, but it's a Dark Steelix. It got the 8. We had said when we sent it off, it's either going to get an 8 or a 9. We were hoping for the 9, but it did get an 8. It's got some edge wear on the back, so I don't fault it at all, or the grader. Now, we're going to get into the cards that I had sent off to get PSA 1s. I am going to fault the grader on this. I don't understand these. So this Charizard got a PSA 4. I guess I can see it since I didn't crease it up. I was, thinking we would get a 1 because there's some really bad dents right here, scrapes and dents. The corners are just absolutely beat. I mean, this card is ugly. But they gave it a 4. This Mewtwo, Shadowless Mewtwo, got a 3. This was confusing to me again. There is a massive dent right here. There is a huge crease right here. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 creases there. There's a crease right here. And they gave it a 3. So I highly disagree with that. Zekrom EX, they gave a 3. Another one I disagree with. There is a, look at right there. Look at that. I mean, that is just ugly. My gosh. I thought that I beat this thing up, like overdid it. I mean, the corner is creased. There's whitening all around. There's a massive crease. There's pinholes right there. I mean, it's an ugly card. I couldn't believe that one. But this next one is the most surprising one of all. They gave the Ho-Oh EX a 3. It has a front crease right there. And here. I mean, ugly, ugly front crease. And then if you go to the back, crease, crease, big crease right there. Look at that. Look how big that is. I mean, a bad crease. So this is, in my opinion, this is a classic PSA 1. I don't know if the grader was just kind of done with my submission by the time they got to these and decided to throw 3s on all of them except for the Charizard. But I highly disagree with those grades. Unfortunately, I don't think there's enough money in it for it to make a lot of sense for me to crack and resubmit these, because even as a 1, I think I'd get 50, maybe $60. So these are going to stay 3s when they get sold, and just going to have to roll with it. So, as I was saying, guys, oh, I don't know why I just turned that around. There we go. As I was saying, guys, I really do appreciate everybody who has, geez, I'm having the hardest time with this. I really do appreciate everybody that has followed along with this submission. I know that this was one that everybody was really excited about and wanted to be a part of. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna make a video here shortly that is going to look at the pros and cons of using GameStop as opposed to just sending in yourself, and hopefully that will give everybody a good idea which direction they want to go. I can say they got all my cards back to me. Nothing was stolen. Everything is slabbed up. There's no damage to anything. No damage to any of the cards that that I sent off that I feel like wasn't there whenever I sent them off. So ultimately, it was a fairly good experience. Thanks for hanging around again today, guys. Let me know if you have any further questions, and I can't wait to keep having you follow along with me. If you have made it this far in the video, I'd greatly appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It really helps small channels like mine to grow and prosper and try to get up off the ground. My next goal is 1,000 subs, and currently, as of the making of this video, we're at 260. So we've got a ways to go, but I'm really looking forward to it. And thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one of Coach's Cards.